Hey guys, it's Scrappinkaty, and I have a take on a free sketch that you can find on my blog. I'll link that down below. And I am going to take just one of these layouts and make this into a one-page layout using the Wildberry Blast Special.
For today's video, I definitely wanted to use the Wildberry Blast paper collection. You can see those foil cardstock pieces as well as that UV coating and all those patterns. And then we have just some regular pattern paper. And then, of course, this adorable sticker sheet. Now, Close to My Heart featured this on their blog the other day. And it had this sketch. And I'll leave a link down to my blog post that shares theirs, and you can download the sketch. So I'm going to kind of adapt the sketch for my photos. I'm going to be doing a one-page layout. So immediately I pulled out my For Love of Color. Now, this book does not have Wildberry because Wildberry is the color of the year. So I looked up a color similar. So I came up with Raspberry, and I flipped to the Raspberry page. And it tells me that Lagoon and Peacock, and that's a 3-color option. I'll leave this book linked down below. I love it because it just has several color options. And like I said, you look up your main color, and then it tells you colors that go with it. So because it said Lagoon and Peacock, I went to my Google photo drive, and I just put in a search for teal. And so some of these photos came up. I love these because I just have a habit of taking photos of our daughter sleeping in the car. All of our children sleep in the car, so do I, but she just sleeps in the weirdest ways. So I have printed these 4 photos, and you can see they're not really 3x3, they're not 4x4, they're not 3x4, so they're kind of an odd shape, but that's okay. I printed those, and that's what I will be using for this layout. So based on this downloadable sketch, I'm going to clear my desk and get some of these pieces cut so this layout will come together rather quickly. So I have cut all my pieces, and I am just going to attach them to a white daisy cardstock, mainly just to save paper. So I'm going to start with the polka dot. That's going to be my main top and bottom bar. That's just going to go flush with the bottom. And if you have, I don't know if you can tell, but my bottom polka dots are a little bit closer to the edge than my top ones. And that's why I want it to create a border down here. So I put those at the bottom. And then from here, I'm just going to go ahead and sandwich these layers up. This is that foil cardstock that I just cut into 1/2-inch increments to mimic zip strips, and also just to kind of separate the polka dot from the big bold Wildberry bar that I'm going to have in the middle. That is just going to go flush with the top of this polka dot paper, and then flush with that left side. And that way, if I need to trim any off, I'm trimming all of it from the right side of this base page. And next comes this Wildberry bar, and this is some of that UV coated. You can see that graph. And I'm just going to do the same. And then repeat the process all the way up. So on this one, again, I want the polka dots that are closest to the edge. I want them at the top so it creates that visual border or that visual stop, so my layout just doesn't keep going to infinity. And now I am going to just add Wildberry ink all around the edge of this layout. And this method is just direct to paper. You guys see me sponge a lot, but I'm just turning that ink pad over onto this layout and just going around the edges. And it just finishes it off nicely, again kind of creating that visual border. So the next portion to the sketch is a 5x7 piece of paper. And I am just going to attempt to center this between a top row of polka dots and a bottom row of polka dots. And then I also kind of made sure it was straight by using these grid lines over here. And then I am going to mat my photos just on some plain Wildberry cardstock. And again, these photos are odd sizes. So what I did was I just cut my photo to the size I wanted and then had an 1/8 of an inch larger white daisy mat and then a 1/4 of an inch larger Wildberry. So I'm only going to use 3 photos. If you recall, the photos had a lot of repetition in her sleeping. And so I'm going to use these 2 that are pretty similar over here on the right side. And then I'm going to use this one, I believe, up at the top, and that will leave me room for some embellishment and title clusters down here. So I really wanted this one centered in between here, but because it is almost the exact width of this 1/2 inch, 3 inch, and 1/2 inch combination, I'm going to have to move it up a little bit. So I think it'll look okay as long as the space between these 2 photos I keep the same right here. And then on these I just used polka dots again to line them up, and then used my grid paper to make sure they're straight, if you can see that. Makes it a whole lot easier to do it that way. We have a couple of embellishing options. We have the chipboard pieces that come with the Wildberry Blast. Now these are exclusive only through this special. You can see the ombre, and you've got hearts, you've got titles. I've got my sticker sheet. I'm definitely probably going to try to use that. And then just all these cute little pennants and everything. And again, it has that UV coating on it. And then I've got sequins. I've just got a whole lot of stuff. So I'm going to pull it out, and then we can just take a look at what we have and what fits. For the majority of those stickers, I am going to want to use 3D foam tape. So I've got my anti-static pouch over here. So I love Dream Big, of course, because she's asleep. This is the Life is also a perfect one. Smile doesn't really fit, of course, because she's asleep. So cute. And again, if I decide not to 3D foam tape them, I can just add liquid glue or something. Wish, love, you're special today. Of course, lots of hearts. I think I like these. Just not sure which one. Okay, that one I may just kind of see here in just a second. Or I may actually, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach that to some wax paper so I can play along with it. So by attaching it to wax paper, it still keeps it a sticker, but the wax paper's clear, so it lets you put it in different places to see where you like it. I think I am going to go ahead and put this one down up here at the top. And I'm just going to slide it under my photo mat like that. And then as far as these go, picking one right there. Well, actually, let me switch these. Let me do the solid pink one up there and this one right here. So I don't have white on white, pink on pink. The You Are Amazing, I really wanted to use that, but it doesn't really fit. I could overlap it a little bit here. I could have it down like that. Let me see how this looks if I attach it to some Wildberry cardstock as a mat to match the other photos. So let me get it down like that and then cut it down. So I've matted that, and I definitely want to take these corners off. So I'm going to use a punch, and I want that the center. Oh, I think that might have to be the edge of my hole, yeah. So that I may have to edge. You have to fix those edges to make them not so sharp, but at least it mimics the sticker. You could also do this with a regular size hole punch. So yeah, I definitely like that better. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but we'll put that there. And then I feel like there needs to be another circle or something that mimics a circle down here just to bring those circles around. So I found a circle that says today. So I am just going to move this sticker down here. And really press down on that now that I know it is staying there. And then this today sticker can go right there since I'm going to put the date on that tab. And then I think I am going to go ahead and add 3D foam tape to the back of this. And get that adhered down. Again with the same line that this photo has. So I think we're good there. Let's go ahead and take this off and add some foam tape. I went ahead and added foam tape to the back of this, and I'm going to go ahead and get that adhered down just to kind of limit my options. At this point I could go on and on and on. So I think that today is going to go right there. And then of course this is so cute, and I think I'm going to put that up here, and I think I'm going to make it dovetailed. So I'm just cutting a slit down the center of the sticker and then going from the corner to the middle. There are several ways that you can do this. I'd also just eyeball it. You can pull out your paper trimmer and measure so it is exact. But I find that this works just perfectly. And I'm using my micro tip non-stick scissors because even though I took the sticky off of this, there still is some sticky. So I want to make sure that it doesn't stick. And I don't think I want that pop dotted anymore. So I'm going to just add adhesive back to the back of that. And then have it right here. And I want to see that pennant. I want to see that dovetail. So I am kind of making it. I want it behind there, but not all the way behind there. The only other thing I'm going to do is add a sprinkle of some sequins here and there. So I will get that done and I'll be right back with the finished product. Okay, so there are those sequins groupings. I originally wasn't going to put any sequins around here, but then I felt like it needed it. So I kept those sequins to the light because you can see there's definitely a variation. And then again, I just kind of used the rule of threes and made sure that each little grouping had some sequins, and then that just needed something. It was just kind of plain. So that is that. I will leave links down below to the blog post featuring this pattern. And again, I just made it a one-page layout, but it is meant to be a two-page layout. I'll leave links down below to the For Love of Color, as well as the Wild Berry Blast. If you liked what you saw, please leave a comment and consider giving me a thumbs up. And as always, if you aren't already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and sign up for notifications so you'll be alerted the next time I post a crafty video. Thanks and have a wonderful weekend.